Mbali, good evening to you. I mean, this is, of course, a summit of the top leaders of the African continent meeting with the G20, and investment. That's the clarion call.
Well, that's right, Bongani. We did, of course, see President Cyril Ramaphosa touching down here in Berlin last night. And this is as he heads this specific G20 Africa Summit. This morning, we saw Ramaphosa as he continues to go on this investment drive where he seeks to make about $100 billion in the next 5 years. We saw him meeting up with various business leaders here in Berlin, in Germany this morning, where he was continuing to tell the business leaders here in Germany, telling them why South Africa remains attractive to the rest of the world, and in particular in Germany. Of course, we have about 600 companies which have already invested their money in South Africa, and they employ about 100,000 South Africans. And this is, of course, where Ramaphosa has been trying to, of course, alleviate the problems around inequality, poverty and unemployment. We've just seen the unemployment rate shoot up once more again this year. So this is as he's trying to address those problems. And talking about investments as well in Germany, we also saw the Mercedes-Benz German company investing about $10 billion into South Africa. This is, of course, as they drive further investments, trying to address the issues around unemployment in South Africa. But of course, as you've mentioned, Bongani, this specific summit was not just only about South Africa. It was, of course, about the various African countries which have also been invited here. We've had about 12 of these African countries who did participate in this G20 African Summit, which is, of course, aiming to address the issues in the various African countries. One in particular, the investment or the pledge that was done today is, of course, around the Togo country, where about a pledge was made where there will be building about a plant to address the problems around electricity in that country, because they've been having electricity from Nigeria and it hasn't been very sustainable right now. So we've seen Siemens come on board to come and address this specific issue. Another issue where Siemens also contributed is, of course, in the country Senegal. They've committed themselves to powering up about 30 villages in that specific region. But right now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is still at the summit, and he was holding talks much earlier on with Siemens as well. So it will be very important for us to keep tabs on what will come out of that specific meeting. We are expected to talk to him much later on today, this evening. But just before he jets out of this specific venue, Bongani, President Ramaphosa is once again expected to hold more talks, bilateral talks with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
All right, we'll leave it there. Mbali Thethani reporting live from the German capital in Berlin. And of course, it's a tough sell for President Ramaphosa because a number of African countries are selling the same message, that their countries on the continent are open for business. We'll see what emerges out of that. He was also expected to hold bilateral talks with the German Chancellor.